Jim Jordan, the Republican chair of the House Judiciary Committee, did not have a good week this week, and it actually got even worse for him when he tried to go on Sean Hannity's Fox News program and try to basically explain away all of the horrible things that had happened previously in that day during his weaponization of the government hearing. Now, during the hearing, Jim Jordan was smacked down multiple times, not only by the Democrats on the committee, but also by the individuals that were testifying who pointed out the fact that nothing Jim Jordan is saying is even true. Honest to God, at this point, it's a mystery to me why Jim Jordan's even still pursuing this, because every time he holds one of these hearings, he gets thoroughly embarrassed. But not nearly as embarrassed as he was on the Sean Hannity program, when Jordan began stuttering and stammering, completely unable to make a point, which he then blamed on technical difficulties. So here is that clip, Jim Jordan on Sean Hannity's program making his problem so much worse. Take a look.
That's exactly what happened with the decision. When it came to the decision with Mr. I drew a blank there, Sean. I apologize. Yep. I got a huge echo in my ear, and I can't even hear.
Sorry about that. Go ahead, pick up.
But yeah, that's exactly what happened. They pre-bunked this story, and Facebook specifically asked the FBI, "Is the Hunter Biden story Russian misinformation?"
Now, let me say this. First of all, having an issue where your earpiece feeds your own audio back to you is actually not uncommon, especially on live TV hits when you're doing it from a remote location. I've had it happen to me before on live TV. And typically, what happens when that happens, in case anybody's never experienced it, which I know most people haven't, you've got your earpiece in. And sometimes you end up with, wires get crossed or whatever it is, and your own audio will get fed back to you through your earpiece on about a 1 to 2 second delay. And yes, I can tell you from experience that absolutely does make it almost impossible to get your thoughts across, because you're hearing what you just said a second ago back into your own brain. It throws you off. In fact, if you've ever actually used one of those speech jammer apps that you can get on your phone, it does the exact same thing. Because yes, it messes with your mind and makes you unable to, speak properly. Now, having said that, and having personally experienced it before, I'm sure that that is what happened to Jim Jordan. And honestly, rather than blaming the tech problems for his issues, Jim Jordan really should have embraced it. He was already doing a bad job before he had the audio issues. He should have just been like, Sean, it's crazy. I gotta go, man. The stuff's not working. But he just kept going down that road, and it never got better for him. Fox, the techs in the studio were able to fix the problem like that. It's not a big deal. But Jordan should have used that as the opportunity to just say, Sean, I'm so sorry, dude, gotta go. Because it never got better for him. Because the hearing that Sean Hannity brought him on to talk about never got better for him. But I do want to read this one exchange that happened during the hearing. This is when Democrat Eric Swalwell decided to really just blast Jordan to oblivion for even continuing to hold these hearings when they have produced absolutely nothing to back up their claims that the federal government has been weaponized against conservatives. Here's what Swalwell said. Chairman, I've counted in this hearing, and we're only about an hour and a half in, the use of the word laptop about 20 times. That is bananas to me. You all are bringing up FISA every single question. You're essentially saying to the American people that you're guardians of personal security and privacy, but the 2020 election was determined because the FBI didn't let more Americans see a private citizen's non-consensual nudes? You should be a party of ideas, not a party of non-consensual nudes to help you win an election. And then he goes on to mention a couple other very important issues that they could be talking about instead. Right? There's actual real problems in the world. Let me tell you what's not a problem, Swalwell's saying, and I agree with him 100%. Hunter Biden's naked body that you Republicans apparently wanted everybody to see because somehow that was important to the 2020 election. Let's never forget what Republicans are fighting for here, right? Let's not forget, the whole Twitter files things when, oh, we've got to get those naked pictures of Hunter Biden. Why? Who in this country is so desperate to see naked pictures of Hunter Biden other than, of course, Republicans? And then the question is, why? Why do you want to see that? That's not relevant to anything at all, ever, anywhere. But that is what Republicans are pushing. That is what they're fighting for. And as the Twitter files proved, by the way, actually proved the opposite of what they thought it would prove. They proved that the government never said, and the Democratic Party never said, remove these immediately. They said, hey, we're pretty sure this is a violation of your own terms of service. Would you mind looking into it? Sorry, but that doesn't seem like government interference to me. Like, hey, naked pictures of this person who didn't consent to the naked pictures being out there in the first place are circulating, and we're pretty sure that violates your terms of service. But Republicans, man, they got to see the Hunter Biden, dangly bits. And so that's where we're at. That's why these hearings exist. And Jim Jordan's going to continue making a fool of himself time and time again, because that's about the only thing the guy knows how to do at this point. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.